entirely. Okay, the last request to speak is from Elizabeth Bentenhausen.
Thank you very much, President Sanders. I'm Elizabeth Bentenhausen from Cambria, and I was born in Mobridge, South Dakota, along the Missouri River, the Big Mo, and I lived my entire life up till the age of 19, 20 along the Big Mo. We went fishing for spoon-billed catfish. My dad and the rest of us, we went fishing on the James River, which feeds into the Missouri River, in the only spot that is now still clear flowing water. I want to say this because I have grown up with the Army Corps of Engineers, shaping all of my life until I was 20. And they put in 5 big dams on that Missouri River. And some of it helped the environment and some didn't. I'll leave it at that. I would have asked, had they still been here, I'm very much glad they came. I would have asked these questions, and I intend to forward them to the pertinent people. Number 1, do you, the Army Corps of Engineers, require all subcontractors to use all of the environmental policy documents that bear upon the ACE's work? That's the first. Is there any more recent policy that you use other than the 1999 document, which is on the website, from the Environmental Protection Agency on pertinent federal qualifications for environmental assessment? Number 2, since, as far as I know, this is the first desalination plant that the Army Corps of Engineers has done, has the National Environmental Advisory Board of the Army Corps of Engineers reviewed any of your preparation, policy analysis, and plans for the CCSD desalination plant? As you may well know, every year the Environmental Advisory Board of the Army Corps of Engineers meets once or twice, and they will meet in January upcoming, so I look forward to seeing their deliberations then. They frequently are not quite congenial to the performance of the Army Corps of Engineers on environmental issues, and it's their advisory board. Number 3, I have been reading, and I urge all of you, President Sanders, the whole board, and people listening to read the court case of the Katrina levees. It is very sobering to read that court case because the Army Corps of Engineers acted in a fashion which the court concludes was life-endangering and taking. But they did it over a 50-year process according to the ruling. And there are specifics there which I won't give you today. But look on the website, it's right there, and you can determine some of the environmental commitments of the Army Corps of Engineers and how they construe them in what we heard today was their balanced fashion. I would have asked if I had the chance then, but I will now and later. In the Katrina case, the Army Corps of Engineers frequently did not do the maintenance to which they themselves said they were committed because they couldn't get money from the locals. And I want to know how the Army Corps of Engineers construes the 25%, as we heard today, match. That's not what the agreement says. The agreement says 25% minimum. How will we know what more they want than the minimum here in Cambria? And finally, I am really curious. I thought that was just a fantastic calendar. We're going to zip by this stuff and make Vice President Biden really happy because we're spending that federal money fast. How are we going to match that calendar? This stuff gets its permits by February. Heck, we're going to throw in the whole environmental thing by March. And whoops, I guess we probably left out a few 45-day or 30-day reviews. So, sir, thank you for letting us speak even after they're here. I will put this in much more clarity in words in writing and take a little more time and send it to you and to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have no more requests to speak on this item. Once again, I think we were very fortunate to have Colonel Magnus and his team here, and I plan on sending him a letter thanking him on behalf of the board. Comments?
Before we leave the item, the chart that was on the money chart on the wall, can that be put up on our website?
Yes, it can.
What? Or the whole presentation, to the extent that it's possible, just so that we can have it both as a baseline and be able to read it a little more, and the notes and things on it. The other thing is, who should these questions be directed to? Should they be directed directly to the Corps of Engineers or through?
I think it's up to the individual asking the question, but I would offer that if the whoever wants to ask a question via the internet, for example, simply forward the questions to the Cambria Community Services District using the board email address, and those will be forwarded to the Corps, and we'll make sure that you get a response. You're always free to call the Corps if you'd like. The LA District Office is listed in the telephone directory. Knowing Colonel Magnus, he will make sure that you get a response.
Could we put those things up on the website also? The address and phone number? Thank you.
Director D'Amico.
If I may, on that same issue, though, and whoever does not wish to go through the CCSD, please copy us in the sense that this way we're able to understand what the questions are coming from the community. You have an open, obviously, they're a governmental agency. You have the right to go to them. We're not trying to at all co-opt that, but we need to be as informed as to some of these questions that may be that are raised, so that we know that when we see answers coming or he starts taking positions, we know what it's in response to. If I may, while I have the floor, if you
Please.
will. It was a good faith presentation. It's the most elemental steps in where we are. Elizabeth's 100% right. If it happens, I think possibly we need the president to fly out with a 747 to meet with the Coastal Commission to get it done that quick. But let's hope it does. But what I would like to ask, and I spoke to the what was the project manager's name? I forget the second. Daryl. Is that there are many things that need to be done besides the testing, such as a basis of design report. I still do not know at this point what process they're going to choose, because desal is not, as you know, more than probably I do. There's multiple equipment choices that can be made, which affects life cycle costs. The cheapest is not always the cheapest when you have to deal with it for 20 or 30 years. And I've asked, and I will repeat maybe an email if I have to, but whoever's dealing with the Corps, and I guess it's Bob Greshens and Tammy Rudock, is that we should be brought up to speed as quick as possible as what their process is, because that will affect, and I honestly warned him that it better be a complete analysis, because different processes have different effects on the environment. Not only on the draw out, but the clean out and the regeneration of the medias and stuff. And that's items we need to know at some point in time, because we're going to get to a point when just giving them, it's not just, but 160,000 is not going to be it. There's going to be some major commitments, and we have to know what we're getting in for is to construction cost, which there was some good exchanges on that, but then also operating costs, because that's the cost of water on a day-to-day basis. So if everything came and the sun shined and everything became, these are decisions which sounds like we're going to have to make some hard decisions within 6 or 8 months. So the more information and the quicker we can get real detail, real information about the project, not the global idea of solar, wherever that solar is sitting and what plant, desal, is to get, are we a membrane plant, are we nanofiltration? We've got to get into some of the details. So I, at least as a board member, I can feel comfortable they're doing their job right too.
Absolutely.
Okay? Thank you.
We have a long way to go, and as Director D'Amico pointed out, the time chart looks very aggressive. It is